Let's unbox the UF Doll T series from Kika Goods. By the way, you can get 10% off KikaGoods.com with my promo code. Let's get started. This is a doll brand from China called UF Doll. The Chinese characters above the English says 茶饮系列, which means T series. There are 8 possible designs and 2 of them are rares with a 1 in 72 chance of getting them. I'm still hoping for the tan one, and I already unboxed the pastel one in another video, and maybe this time I'll finally get the peach. Let's see who I got. Cut the tape and unwrap the plastic. Ooh, I got the teal one. Here's her collector card. Now let's unbox the doll. Here's info about the doll and how it's strung together. It shows you how to take the head on and off. This card says to avoid storing your doll in extreme temperatures or too high or low humidity. Here's her headband. It has some teal bows with some tiny pearls on it. Here's her shirt. It's a little stretchy and it's got a bow on the front. She comes with these 2 elastic bands, and I think one of them goes on her leg and one is a necklace. Here's her dress, which I think is so adorable. It's got a letter U on the front and an oversized bow in the back. This doll comes with underwear. These are the eyes that came with this doll. I'll show you how to attach them later on in this video. This is a strip of white putty for you to attach the eyes and a magnetic base. In another video, I'll show you how to replace the feet and use the magnets to help her stand up. Here's her cute little bunny ears. These little cloud shapes are for you to replace the bunny ears if you want her to look more human and not like a rabbit. In case you don't like her glove hands or the shoes that she came with, the company gave you some extra hands and feet. I'll show you how to replace these in another video. Let's unwrap the actual doll. There's some plastic film covering her hands and her face and hair to protect it from scratches during transit. To take off the last piece of plastic on her face, you'll need to remove her hair, and it comes off just like that. Let's put the hair back on. So even without her eyes, I can tell that she's super cute. I love this white to teal gradient that's in her hair. She definitely has a way bigger chest than the first UF doll that I unboxed. Here's the back of her hair so you can see the gradient better. I'm not a huge fan of these glove hands because you can't really articulate the wrist. All you can do is twist them like that. But she has a pretty good range of motion in her shoulders and in her elbows. As a doll designer, I'm pretty picky about dolls being able to sit nicely at a 90-degree angle, and I'm happy to see that she does. You can rotate her thigh. You can't really rotate her knees, but you can at least rotate her ankle. Her knees bend pretty far back, so I think that you can make her sit on her legs on the ground. I'm pretty pleased with the quality of this doll and the amount of articulation, so let's put on her eyes. You're going to need the eyes that she came with and the little strip of white putty. First, you'll need to take off her hair and her faceplate. Notice that the faceplate is connected to the neck by this S-hook. You have to turn the S-hook so that it fits through the hole. Take a tiny bit of putty and put it around each eye. By the way, just in case you lose the putty, you can always buy more. I have my favorite brand listed in my Amazon supplies list. The link is in the description below. As you can see, I'm just using a tiny bit. I'm going to put some above and below each eye hole. You can use a small tool to help you spread it out. Getting the position of each eyeball right can be a little bit challenging, but just take your time. So here I'm not really satisfied with how it looks, so I'm using my tool to help move it into the right place. Here's my final eye placement. Let's put the head back on. I'm using some pliers to grip the S-hook and pull it through the hole. I find it easier to turn the head instead of trying to turn the hook. Now let's put her hair back on. Time to get dressed. So here's where I started running into difficulties with her outfit, and I'll show you why. On her collector card and on her photo online, she has an off-shoulder dress, but the elastic around her collar was too tight, and it kept making her shirt go over her shoulders and more tightly around her neck. I had to try really hard to pull her shirt down as far as possible, and it would never really stay down. Also, the corset part of her skirt kept bunching up, making her waist look a lot wider than it is. I tried to pull it up, but in the end, it didn't really look like the photo online. So this was my best attempt at recreating the online photo. Okay, let's put on her ears. I'm gonna put on the little cloud-shaped piece just to show you how it looks like without her ears, but I'm gonna put both ears on for now. Oh yeah, and this little bow fell off of her skirt, so I'll glue that on later. So now let's put on her garter belt. I realized a bit too late that this second piece is supposed to go around her neck, so we have to take her whole head off again to put on her necklace. Here she is all put together. I love her cute coquette styling, and I actually really like that she has kind of a sad expression on her face. I'm gonna try to recreate that expression when I repaint her later. Here's her next to the previous doll that I repainted. I'm going to repaint my new doll this week, so stay tuned for that tutorial video. I have one more of these UF dolls to unbox. Remember, you can get 10% off KikaGoods.com with my exclusive promo code. Thanks for watching!